Everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about assessment of hearing. Two tests that are widely used for assessment of hearing are clinical test, audiometric test. In this particular video, we are focusing on clinical tests that are routinely used in ENT OPD for assessment of hearing. And the most commonly used and most important to know is tuning fork test. Now, two tests that you must know under tuning fork test is Rini test and Weber test. So why Rini test? Rini test is used to find the type of deafness, whether it is conductive or sensory neural. Okay, we will go into the topic when it is called conductive deafness and when it is called sensory neural deafness. So for now, Rini test is the test to find the type of deafness, conductive or sensory neural. Weber test, it is done to find the worse ear, that is ear with deafness. Now, first let us understand anatomy and physiology of hearing. There are two ways by which we hear sound. Number one, by our pinna, external ear, external auditory canal, middle ear. This one is middle ear. This one is inner ear, which contains cochlea. From there, eighth nerve takes information to auditory center. This one is one pathway. Second, if bone, if skull bone, mastoid process or forehead is stimulated, then via bone conduction it stimulates cochlea and it goes to via vestibulocochlear nerve to our auditory center. So I am telling this one more again. First pathway, external ear, external auditory canal, middle ear, inner ear, where cochlea will be stimulated. Another pathway by stimulating bone, that is by a bone conduction. So it can be done via hair, a mastoid process, or in forehead. So okay, Rini test. Now this Rini test and Weber test are high yield concepts that are very important in our daily routine practice and also for our examination purpose. So now I will be using two terms, air conduction and bone conduction. Although both the term contains conduction, when I am talking about air conduction, it implies conductive pathway, that is pathway number one. And when I say bone conduction, it implies sensory neural pathway, that is this number two pathway. So how to remember which one is Rini and which one is Weber? So if we place vibrating tuning fork behind the pinna on the mastoid process, then that is Rini test. So you can remember Rini behind the pinny, as pinna is called external ear. So this one is Rini test. Now how to do this test? Okay, so a vibrating tuning fork is placed in mastoid process behind the pinna and then it is brought near pinna in the air. Now if the person says he hears better when it is kept next to the ear, that is his conductive pathway, so that will be normal. In normal individual, air conduction will be better than bone conduction. He will hear more clearly when it is placed here just next to his pinna rather than stimulating his bone. But in conductive deafness means this pathway is disturbed, so bone conduction will be better. Bone conduction will be better than air conduction. So one more thing, Just because air conduction is greater than bone conduction, it doesn't mean he is normal. There is a chance that it could be due to sensory neural deafness. We'll come into that part. Now, Weber test. Why is Weber test used? I already told you. Weber test is to find the worse ear with deafness. Okay, so Rini test for the type of deafness, Weber test to find the worse ear. So, a vibrating tuning fork is placed in forehead and the sound travels via skull bone directly to cochlea and to its cochlear nerve. So what happens normally is both ear hears equal sound. Okay, but in sensory neural deafness, wherever this test is lateralized to better ear. Okay, in conductive deafness, wherever lateralized to worse ear, that is ear with conductive deafness. See, this scenario 1, in sensory neural deafness, wherever lateralized to better ear. So if he's a patient of sensory neural deafness and his waiver is lateralized to left ear, that means that his left ear is normal. Or you can say is like this. Okay, if first we know whether it is sensory neural or conductive deafness via Rini test. Now, if the sound is being lateralized to one particular ear, then we know that problem is in that ear or another ear. As in this example, we know is a case of sensory neural deafness and sound is being lateralized to left side. So there is problem in his right ear. In sensory neural deafness, as in this case, waiver is lateralized to better ear. So I told you that here right ear has sensory neural deafness since waiver is lateralized to left ear because bone conduction works by a stimulation of cochlea, which is a sensory neural pathway. Now if this ear have sensory neural deafness, that is from cochlea anything is disturbed, then this whole pathway is disturbed and you will hear only by this ear. So that's why in sensory neural deafness, waiver is lateralized to better ear. But in conductive deafness, waiver is lateralized to worse ear, that is ear with conductive deafness. Here, if left ear has conductive deafness, this waiver test will be lateralized to the same ear. Why? Due to conductive deafness, it will not be disturbed by any other noise and this noise will easily be catched up by the inner cochlea which is well functioning. So I guess we are clear with conductive deafness, sensory neural deafness, Rini test and Weber test, and why are the findings which are present. Okay, let us do two exercises that will help us get a better conclusion of our topic. Vibrating tuning fork is placed on mastoid process then near pinna in the air. He says he hears better when tuning fork is placed on mastoid. Then it is placed on forehead and sound is lateralized to right ear. Okay, I want you to do it. So just pause the video for a while and do it in your copy and then you can come back again to see the answer. I will be writing here answer. So from first statement, vibrating fork tuning fork is placed on mastoid process then near pinna. He says hears better when tuning fork is placed on mastoid. So here is Rini test negative. Rini test negative. That means his bony conduction is better than air conduction. Okay, which is not normal. Now, then it is placed on forehead and sound is lateralized to right ear. So here it is conductive deafness. It implies there is conductive deafness. Now it is placed on forehead and sound is lateralized to right ear. So that means conductive deafness in right ear. Conductive deafness in right ear. Second exercise. Vibrating tuning fork is placed on mastoid process and then near pinna in the ear. He says he hears better when the tuning fork is placed next to ear. With this we can say air conduction is better than bone conduction, which is normal for Rini. Then it is placed on forehead and sound is lateralized to right ear. So Weber is not normal ear, because if it would be normal, it would be equal in both the ear. So although Rini test is normal, this Weber test is not normal, and Weber test implies that there is sensory neural deafness in left ear, because if you remember, normal rhinitis, that is air conduction is more than bone conduction, it is also true when there is sensory neural deafness, as we saw in our second exercise. So I hope we are clear with assessment of hearing, Rini test and Weber test.